Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency update. Welcome to the channel. Like and sub if you're serious about the digital asset space and the ongoing developments. And let's get right into the information today. One take, uncut. So right here, guys, this is really cool to kick things off. So XNEO just sharing this. How many currencies are there in this picture? The answer, 8. So we're looking at the most liquid currency pairs. Feel free to pause the screen. We have New Zealand, Canadian, Australian dollar, British pound, yen, etc. These are some of the most liquid pairs. Now, time and time again, Ripple, the company, says that they are targeting the low-hanging fruit to remove friction from the global space. Now, follow me and stay with me here. We have the link, of course, here. Answer 8. These are the most liquid pairs. 8 currencies are behind 88% of the volume in the FX market, foreign exchange market, of these currency pairs. It has been said that 20 on-demand liquidity, or XRP markets, could be open by the end of this year, 2020. 20 markets, 8 currencies here. Now, keep in mind, of course, there's different currencies, whether it's, USD Euro, USD Canadian dollar, etc. Now, stay with me. Now, this gentleman, City C, I've shared his content. Yeah, many currencies are there in the, but how many currencies are there in the remaining 12% volume? That's the low-hanging fruit Ripple is after, XNEO. That's what they say, but the Australian dollar USD pair, as well as the USD Euro pair, are not low-hanging fruit corridors. Exactly. Why are they targeting them? Well, it only makes sense because once the low-hanging fruit are fixed, and there's still need for improvement. We have higher liquidity. We can solve better demand and actually improve even highly liquid corridors that are already relatively efficient compared to today. But there's so much more room for improvement. Why do you think there's billions upon billions being invested in not only DLT, but blockchain, a subset of DLT for not only, of course, interoperability is a key component, but I'm talking about operational efficiency and cost savings. You have to look at the bigger picture, and yes, you have to speculate on a speculative investment. All right, next up, King Solomon sharing this. This is really cool, and again, this is dot connecting with sources. So we got Scotiabank launches international money transfer via a mobile application and web. So keep in mind, Scotiabank equals R3 in this. Scotiabank has also trialed XRP. This is documented, and we'll also show you some screenshots below. And again, here's a quote: "Can avoid the often lengthy, confusing, and costly process that is typically involved with traditional global money transfers." Now, this is much more than just using XRP for on-demand liquidity. I'm talking about the world of trade finance. I'll talk about, why this means trillions with a T. If you're not believing in double, triple, or potentially even a higher valued XRP with success, I don't know what to tell you guys, because it's simple math within the order books. It's supply and demand. This is not just a little stock, and it's not Amazon going from $9 to $2K. This is XRP. This is truly one of the highest institutional backed cryptocurrencies that is an open source protocol that anyone can touch and, actually own a portion of this network that will be used as fuel and as a global bridge asset. So right here, nice digging on the Alpha Point connection to Bank XRP, another researcher and YouTube channel. Same with King Solomon, so check these guys out on YouTube. So Ripple and R3 team up with 12 banks to trial XRP for cross-border payments. All right, this is October 20th, 2016. Yes, I know it's old info, but we're tying points together for all of you newcomers as well. All right, next, today we're announcing that 12 banks belonging to a consortium led by financial innovation company R3 is trialing Ripple's native digital asset, XRP, to scale liquidity and reduce the costs and inefficiencies of cross-border payments. As we can see here, the R3 member banks involved in the trials include, boom, Scotiabank right down below. Along with them, these groups, of course, we see Barclays, BMO Financial, we see CIBC, we see Intesa Sanpaolo, we see a lot of these groups, National Australia Bank, NAB, we have Nordea, we have Royal Bank of Canada, we have Santander, of course, no surprise, and Westpac Banking Corporation. Guys, this has been in the works for a very long time. Of course, we see down here David Rudder, CEO of R3, commented on the trial with Ripple as well, and he actually has an NDA, cannot discuss Ripple whatsoever. Interesting. Next, Bank XRP showing this. Alpha Point completes blockchain trial with Scotiabank. A blockchain trial, are they using XRP? We're not really sure. It just says Alpha Point, a fintech company specializing in blockchain tech, completed a successful proof of technology or proof of concept with Scotiabank. Next, we see Alpha Point here, literally the same day. Today, we're very excited to announce the launch of DCX official, powered by Alpha Point Live. DCEX is the first ever digital currency exchange to utilize XRP as its exclusive base currency. I love seeing that. I love seeing these dots being connected, and I want XRP to be a base currency on as many platforms and exchanges as possible. continuous on-ramps, different pools of liquidity will enhance value. Keep in mind, Brad Garlinghouse, all of the smartest people in this landscape of finance say the most liquid assets will win, period. And of course, this draws and demands them to have a higher price valuation. All right. And we are just getting started. We are just getting out the gate. All right. Next. Right here, I Am Legion. This is another very interesting bullish piece of info. And yes, I'm speculating, but check this out. So, of course, we see R3, we see RippleNet Partners as well, ING included. We see Corda, Microsoft, BNP Paribas, and then Commerce Bank. So, as we can see, interesting that Microsoft is a part of R3's Marco Polo project. All right, and what was it? Did Voltron change their name to Contour? I believe they recently changed their name in the world of trade finance. I'll have to find that actual, but good thing we're not talking about that. I believe it was them. Voltron changed it to Contour, not Marco Polo. But anyways, $400 million right here, guys. Expected spending from banks on DLT by 2019. Of course, we're already past there, but we're just showing that what is going on, all right? And of course, DLT is a wider, broad, spectrum compared to just blockchain, but it's still important to keep track of. Okay. All right. Now let's get into these screenshots. This is awesome. So Microsoft's Marley Gray, Ripple, and IOP Interledger Protocol will be the fabric of multi-chain future interoperability, guys. Right here, this gentleman, there won't be one blockchain to rule them all, says Marley Gray, who leads Microsoft's Azure's blockchain as a service. This is BAAS initiative. Typically, this acronym is, banking as a service, but I'm curious, is this, as he says right here, blockchain as a service? So this is a new acronym now that we're going to be seeing. Pretty cool there. Next, another link and screenshot here on Blockchain Federation. So Microsoft unveils Coco, the technology to speed up blockchain and address scalability. So we got Intel, R3, and JP Morgan. We also know it's very bullish that JP Morgan is working with Ethereum, which is amazing, guys. We need multiple groups, again, with dApps and all kinds of interoperability and bridging these two groups to work, all right? There's going to be plenty of room. There's going to be plenty of specific use cases, and each company that is going to build or bank or, corporation that is going to work on these blockchains might want different things. There's pros and cons to each project. Is scalability most important? Is, a decentralized, application and some good SDKs most important? What do they value for their users? Right here, by design, the framework is open and compatible with any blockchain protocol. Microsoft has already begun integrations with Ethereum, and we're thrilled to announce that JP Morgan Chase, Intel, and R3 have committed to integrating enterprise ledgers, Quorum, Hyperledger Sawtooth, and Corda, respectively. Just the beginning, guys. We are looking at this, and I talked to King Solomon about this as well, and he made a great point in the past, and I've been saying it ever since. Look at the projects that are being integrated, that have trials, that have proof of concepts, that are being built upon. Of course, they have a longer track record, but in this already uncertain space, you want to invest in the projects that you think are going to be no-brainers. And of course, diversify. Hopefully, some will win much more than others. But for me, Ethereum and XRP are in the top mind of my portfolio for a sure investment. Are there other winners in the top 10, top 20, top 50? Absolutely. All right, keep that in mind. Always do your own research. Next, of course, Ripple here, insights given this multi-chain vision. We see smart contracts as a key piece. Then you need interledger protocol, all right? Bridging all of these, payment networks to ACH networks to you name it, all right? And again, IOP and XRP were built with each other in mind. They want XRP to be the #1 chosen bridge asset, but it won't always be, because sometimes it just depends what they specifically want or what will be the fastest option. But obviously, as we know the tech, XRP is the fastest. Now, which is the glue? So IOP, which is the glue in the system that holds everything together so that different chains can interoperate. That means a derivatives chain, obviously on the high end, well over a $250 valuation, can interact with the securities chain. And this is well over hundreds of trillions as well. All right, well, I guess some securities markets say 10 trillion valuation, but anyways, it's derived from. In all of these interactions, you'll have to move money around, or value, or assets, or commodities, any type of or real estate tokenized securities. You get it. So you will need Ripple for that. Interesting. As we go down here, again, in financial services, I think we're going to see a mixture of different blockchain tech. There's going to be so many chains for swaps, chains for bonds. They'll each have different characteristics. We'll see chain patterns evolve. You could plug and play various consensus algorithms based on the products that exist on that chain. This is all in Insights, guys. And then, of course, not only Ripple Insights is talking about this, but Microsoft as well. All right, we see the Coco platform again. We're seeing JP Morgan's Quorum, Hyperledger, the hints towards, Ethereum usage, of course, because it's the blockchain. We got got NVIDIA, massive groups. Of course, Azure, platform. We see Hyperledger, and then see the Ethereum group is here. All right. Now, next, look at this alone, guys. If you want to be part of the Marco Polo network as a participant or as a bank member to grow your business, become more competitive, and work in collaboration with other corporates, financial institutions, FIs, or members of the wider trade ecosystem, you can contact them. The volume right now in global trade finance is estimated at $40 trillion. 90% is North America and European banks exploring blockchain. Source right from PwC. All right, again, $3 trillion in receivables. All right, the current level of receivable on the corporate balance sheet is estimated at $3 trillion, 30 to 50% the potential cost savings on compliance. So you're telling me in markets, even if certain companies can only save, several million, 100 million, or billions a year, they're not going to entertain the thought when their competitors are adopting DLT and blockchain tech and using trade finance platforms that ideally will use IOP, Ethereum, XRP to interoperate? Guys, this is right in front of us. Just know this has been going on for, 8 years, 5 years, whatever it may be. We are on the verge of something huge. All right, and again, Marco Polo network uses Azure and Corda blockchain to modernize trade finance. There's not going to be one that wins all right? And I just wanted to tie it together. Now, to my next point. XRP Crypto Wolf sharing this. So I know this happened, a few days ago. So we think XRP to the Ethereum and ERC20 tokens bridge is important since XRP is one of the most liquid cryptocurrencies, but it doesn't have a compute layer to support complex smart contracts for the growing decentralized finance market on Ethereum. So that's a direct quote from this article. Of course, I'm keeping an eye on Codius as well. But just to talk about this, building bridges at Ethereum Denver. So talking about Ripple. So right here, first, a relevant background. So Spring or Xspring is the default open, meaning we build open source software, open protocols, and open standards. And we love to work with others that do that too. Almost all Springs, and I'm pronouncing it Spring, that's the correct pronunciation, it doesn't really matter. Spring of 40 plus engineers work on open source software full time. We actively contribute to and or support open source projects including C++, Ripple implementation of XRP Ledger, the Rust and Java implementations of IOP Interledger Protocol, Codius, which I just mentioned. We got web monetization, open payments, and several other open source core libraries. We see the W3C for web payments, of course, the current members since 2015, right? Well, the committee, and then of course current members for the W3C. We've talked about them for a long time. We see all of this. So right here, the last point is the most relevant to the Ethereum community, which recently created an inspiring mission to reach 1 million developers worldwide. And I think these are the types of initiatives and goals we need to hold the blockchain community accountable to really see the adoption that we hope to see on the institutional level. So not just for Ethereum, but across all blockchains. It's best to combine efforts, pool resources, and work together where appropriate to make it easier for developers to biddle, kind of like hodl to build on the blockchain. I love this, guys. All right, so again, Spring sponsored 3 challenges. They have various challenges, Denver between, and of course, with the focus on building bridges between the XRP ledger that utilizes XRP and then Ethereum over the Interledger protocol. I'm excited to do that. And the fun fact is with this whole rainbow, they're kind of basing it off of Bitfrost. So Norse mythology for any of you that follow that. I thought that was pretty cool. And again, some pictures. But all right. So again, I think we're going to see this with more cryptocurrencies as well. We think XRP to ETH, and ERC tokens, everything built on the Ethereum blockchain, is important. We already talked about it being one of the most liquid assets. This is further validation that these two are in cahoots together. They want everyone to, thrive as well. In projects like Link, it's agnostic. If something does beat out Ethereum for the, DApp or DApp platform, it can go right to that platform as well. All right, so keep your eye out. You realize what's happening. I think that there's going to be plenty of projects that succeed. And over the years, every several years, maybe a company will change the blockchain they utilize altogether or simply migrate it. There's just too many open ends. All right here, we're going to finish off with this. XRP Joe shared this, so maybe this will help ease your mind. Not that you're worried in the least, and I believe it was just, talking about XRP 4 to 5 digits. So check this out, guys. So the comprehensive structure of global blockchain finance market 2024 and the topmost key players listed. We got IBM, Ripple, Rubix, and Deloitte. So as we can see here, we see market segment by type. We can see the basic use cases. We can see market segment by applications, whether it's trade finance, cross-border payments, digital currency, identity, other, maybe security, real estate. We see the top companies, which I've already named. Ripple's right here. And then we can see the top regions. So basically, the biggest thing I wanted to talk about is, of course, we see the forecast, we see the growth, and we see everything that's happening. I believe I screenshotted right here, guys. Ripple Labs, or Ripple, an obvious key player since, 2012 when they were founded. So we can see right here. Blockchain finance is the application of blockchain tech in the financial field. They can be classified as these, following solutions, which I've already gone over. We see Ripple. We've gone over Accenture. I'll do another video on them as always. We've gone over Ant Financial. We've gone over Oracle. Citibank, one of the largest banks in the world. We got SAP. And now look at this. The global blockchain finance market is valued at $2,366 million US dollars in 2018 and is expected to grow $9,539 million by the end of 2024. Right now, this CAGR, this is actually stands for Compound Annual Growth Rate of 32.2% between these next 5 years. Right? Well, am I saying it's going to take this long to see XRP Moon? No. What I'm saying is this is where we are going to see adoption and steady growth. All right, guys. Appreciate it as always. Leave me, down below your thoughts on, some other projects I should look into besides Ethereum, XRP, and Bitcoin. Of course, you guys have shown you, my top projects that I keep an eye on as well. But I want to hear a little bit more from you, whether it's Tezos, whether it's Cardano, VeChain, Link, you name it. All right. I want to hear from you guys. And of course, I will look into doing more content on those videos. So again, guys, I appreciate everybody that takes 1 second to click the like button, share it on Twitter or Facebook. And as always, I appreciate it. Until next time.